5. It is our annual tradition of overreacting to the Oscars. Our 2024 Oscar nominations podcast is out. And if you're coming to this feed on Apollo HOU looking for football takes, football is dead. And
it's not happening anymore.
It's not real. It's baseball season, I guess, or basketball season. I guess they don't care about basketball until May. So, it's whatever.
Brock Purdy is in the Super Bowl. So that definitely means that football is dead.
Football's dead.
What other sign could you have that football is dead? A Matt Campbell disciple is in the Super Bowl. That doesn't even make sense.
Ugh. Anyway.
No Iowa State person has ever done anything noteworthy. And now Brock Purdy's in the Super Bowl. This is insane.
Somewhere Seneca Wallace is seething. I was supposed to be the chosen one. Anyway, we are talking about the 2024 Oscar nominations. This is the only podcast that brings you that news as soon as it happens, right? Like as soon as we're reacting to it in real time.
Yeah, the Oscar nominations are brand new. There's been no discourse whatsoever. I'm glad y'all are here getting all these fresh hot takes for the very first time.
Guys, what happened? What happened to the game that we love? Because discourse used to be fun. Well, not always, but sometimes.
Oscars discourse used to be fun, and now everyone's involved, and I don't like it.
Right.
I miss when it was discourse about movies nobody had seen except us.
Yeah, except the 3 people on this podcast and Mo, who we'll have on for the Oscars pod actually in March. But the discourse, Hillary Clinton was fucking involved in the discourse, which we jumped the shark. It's bad now. Movies are bad.
It's bad.
I know
nothing should be popular ever again.
I know Dex has been tweeting this, but it's so true. People who have seen 6, 4, 2 movies this year are like happily weighing in on who should be nominated and who should not be nominated for stuff. And I'm not going to say that I'm some type of expert or anyone is some type of expert, but if y'all haven't actually been watching the movies, not just the movies that were nominated, but just like movies in general, like how can you really, like everybody just logs on is like, oh, I can't believe Barbie didn't win. It's like, how many movies did you see this year? Oh, you saw 3 movies this year? How do you know who should be nominated for any?
And you saw 2 of them on the same day.
Right. You made a day of it. You got childcare and you went and saw it. My whole thing is like, I don't want to gatekeep, but it is the tweet is like, man, this is really reminding me of the Lego movie, says the man who's only seen the Lego movie. Like, or what is it? I'm getting really big
Boss Baby.
Boss Baby vibes from this movie, man who's only seen Boss Baby.
I am in Barbie Hive, and I was exhausted by the dialogue. Surrounding Barbie, and I am in the Hive, and I was still.
Yeah, we all are. Dex had it in his top 5. I think it was in both of our honorable mentions, Tej. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden, it went from. Let's just break it down here just to get it out of the way, because this is the biggest controversy, quote unquote. Greta Gerwig was not nominated for director. The big one, Margot Robbie, who had been sort of just in that pack of actresses that was going to be nominated, that 5 that we've kind of known, including Lily Gladstone, who looks like the clear and away winner now. But she was always around in that group of actresses. It's the actors and actresses have kind of all been the same. Last second, Anatomy of a Fall gets a big push. Sandra Hüller, I believe is how you pronounce her name, gets the nomination over presumably what would have been Margot Robbie. And then
we need to be mad at Nyad. No one's
right.
No one on this podcast has seen Nyad. That means no one has seen it, and it's on Netflix, and no one has still not seen Nyad. So let's just be angry at Nyad, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, well, that was the other thing too. Is that we got some legacy nominations for Nyad in there as well, and Annette Bening, always the bridesmaid, God love her, got a legacy nomination for Nyad. She had to swim a lot, apparently.
I really like Annette Bening, but nobody has seen this film.
It's been on the front page of Netflix. Nyad has been on, and I still haven't clicked it. It's in my list, and I don't
even know anyone who has clicked it.
I'd rather watch The Crown.
Seen Nyad.
You know, I just think
Two Popes.
Yeah, it is the new Two Popes. It's not a real movie. You cannot convince me. You cannot convince me that this actually came out or that Netflix put money behind it, to be completely honest with you. So Sandra Hüller gets nominated as well as Annette Bening. So somewhere in there, Margot Robbie gets knocked out. Well, the discourse becomes like, oh, we don't support women. Well, that isn't quite true because she wasn't knocked out by a man in that
It's
category.
an award for all women.
Yeah, exactly. And then the ire got turned on Ryan Gosling, who then put out a statement basically like, no, wait. Like,
we should say he was nominated, by the way. He is nominated for Best Supporting Actor. So
literally,
people were
I'm
saying,
just
did you miss the point of Barbie by nominating a man and not nominating a woman? But another woman was literally nominated for Barbie.
And then the ire got turned on poor America Ferrera, who's kind of been shut out of all of these awards. I think she may have gotten a bump at the Critics' Choice Awards or something like that, but she had been kind of knocked out of this. She wasn't in the Golden Globe conversation. I'm not sure she's in the SAG conversation either, but she gets an Oscar nomination.
I was shocked when I saw her name pop up when I was watching this live at like 5 a.m. like a madman. I was floored. I could not believe that she got that nomination.
I think live watching it, I texted the group chat, oh, if America Ferrera got nominated, that means everybody from Barbie is getting nominated. Because like this came out of no fucking where. They must have loved this movie. They must have loved everything about it. Everyone's getting an award. Like this is the Everything Everywhere All at Once of 2024. Like,
the feel-good corporation story.
They fucking love this movie. So clearly Margot Robbie's going to get nominated. And then they didn't call her name. And I was like, excuse me? I beg your pardon?
Right. And so the ire got turned on her. Well, then the ire became, she was bad and this movie is actually bad and you are dumb and wrong for liking it. And you're just kind of like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, man. So I don't know where to go. I think it is weird that that we don't actually know how to award comedies anymore, or actually never did, and that we don't know how to especially award women in comedies, and we don't know also how to parse things out when it makes money in Hollywood. Somewhere down the line, they have not figured out, oh shit, this was popular, but was it good? You know, they don't know how to necessarily parse that out. And we thought we had it fixed last year when Everything Everywhere All at Once won, because it was popular and was good. And they kind of saw that. But
it used to be so good. We were really that was such a time. That was such a great time. Oh, now we're back in the toxicity of the Oscar season. Welcome.
Yeah, I just do think it's weird that like the front look, all things considered, she made $1 billion and she got nominated for an Oscar because she was the producer of Barbie. Yep. But it is weird that Margot Robbie didn't get nominated as the face of the movie that got 8 nominations. That is weird. That's more weird to me than Greta Gerwig not getting the Best Director.
Greta Gerwig not getting the nomination was fine with me. Like I wouldn't even consider that a snub, really. Like it's 5 movies. Okay, cool. But Margot Robbie's performance as Barbie is like one of the things we'll remember about 2023 in terms of movies. Like she is one of the defining characters of the year and probably of like the decade eventually when we look back at it. So it's weird that she didn't get nominated in presumably 2 movies that like 7 people have seen combined across the 2 movies got nominations. Sight Unseen on Naiad and Anatomy of a Fall, hand up. That's on me. I haven't seen those movies yet. Maybe I will watch them, and both of those performances will be just unquestionably better than Margot Robbie, and there's nothing you can do about it. But Sight Unseen right now, it feels a little weird that Margot Robbie wasn't in the 5.
Well, yeah. If you click Naiad, you're going to get a WWE Raw in 2025 ad. You're not even going to get a real movie. It's just going to be WWE. Like, that movie does not exist. So it's not a thing.
It just takes you back to the flash screen over and over and over again. It's just like...
would you like to watch Love is Blind?
Yeah. Is that what you meant? Love on the Spectrum, season 8 is out now. And you're just like, oh... Okay.
I have a hot take. I am noted not in the Greta Gerwig hive. I do appreciate Barbie and I do think she's great. And there is a 5 directors that could be nominated there that I would say she was not snubbed. But I do think that given the 5 that are there, I could have put her above one or more of those directors. But we'll do that when we go one by one. But
yeah, you have some takes you got to get off. We haven't been on wax in a while.
I do, but I do agree with y'all that I was a lot less surprised about Greta Gerwig not getting that nomination than I was about Robbie, who I just assumed was there and assumed was going to be the winner or the number 2 vote getter in that category. So I find that to be a bit fascinating.
Yeah.
To get nominated there.
Also, I gotta say, like, as much as I want Margot Robbie to be nominated, I hate that position has been tainted by a bunch of weirdos and losers who like just make you look like a fucking dork for being on their side in the discourse. It's
right.
Like, I don't want to be out here going to bat with Hillary Clinton on my side about this.
What was the tweet that I saw you that was, I said it was unironically the funniest tweet that I think I've seen. Like, hold on, let me see if I can. Okay. This guy got ratioed bad, but maybe this is from Brian Behar, I believe, on Twitter. Maybe this is an oversimplification, but Ryan Gosling being nominated, but not Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig perfectly explains to me why we are in the 8th year of Hillary Clinton's presidency. Oh my God.
See what I'm saying? I don't
That's
want to be
literally
on
one of the
side.
worst tweets I've ever seen.
Unintentionally hilarious. That's the funniest tweet that I've ever seen.
I want to look around and see like who's on my side in this fight and be like, oh, it's the guy who compared this to Hillary Clinton losing in 2016. What? No.
And it was like, it's like the Ruth Bader Ginsburg tweet. You know what I mean? Like my 3-year-old looked at me and said, like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is her hero or something like that. Like, stop. What are we doing? A 1,000 quote tweets on this thing. 1.9.
Good God.
He deserved that pack. He
earned it.
Tweet.
It's unbelievable. Anyway, so but the For You tab, I wanted to mention this. I don't know how the For You tab works for y'all. I like one movie take or tweet. It is now that entire day on the For You page on Twitter is just that subject of movie tweets, not movie tweets in general, just that subject of movie tweets.
I'm not going to disclose on this podcast what happens on my For You page.
Yeah, don't. I think we'll be okay. But it is just like take after take. So I was getting spoon-fed the best and worst takes all day. And it was like, it just was people that were like, you know, I didn't think Barbie should be nominated, but oh my God, I cannot get over the like liberalness of all of this. Like, not to be like libtards fuck this movie up, but I'm just saying, like, not to be that guy on this podcast, but I'm just saying, like, it is hard, like Dex said, to be on that side, to be like, actually, this is a misogyny thing. It's ranked choice voting, you know.
Saying misogyny was the reason that a woman did not get nominated for an award in which only women were even applicable is the most hilarious thing ever. It's
incredible discourse, and I want more of it, to be completely honest with you. I want to go down the rabbit hole further, actually. Let's take this to its foregone conclusion.
Yeah, and everyone's just started hating women because of Barbie once they got to the lead actress spot, not the supporting.
Right.
Nobody hated women until they got to the lead actress spot and the director spot. Before that, women were cool.
Should we just say, though, too, Greta Gerwig also nominated for a Best Adapted Screenplay. Like,
true.
You know.
I'm leaving here with something.
She's fine. She is fine.
And again, don't forget about the $1 billion. I mean, that's a pretty important part of this. She made all the money in the world, as she should have, because Barbie made all the money in the world. So she's fine.
Okay, let's see here.
Also, we just gotta say, almost nobody knows what they're talking about when they call acting good or bad. We're all just lying. Like if someone is like, this is terrible acting or this is incredible acting, we're making it up. We don't fucking know. Like, we're just all out here vibing.
No, I know.
How did it make me feel?
I know, and you should follow my opinion on what's good and bad. Actually, we are the we are the virtue signalers here on what is good and bad for acting because we've studied this in depth. Best picture. So this, I mean, obviously, if you follow Oscar voting, there is no like first or last, but as far as this goes, American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, which might be another Irishman for Scorsese if we just got to go down the line. Well, no, they'll win one actually.
Yeah,
Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Is there anything missing in here, or what are your takes on this?
I won. Past Lives is in. I won, and not only did I not win in that regard, May December not listed. I win again. I love it. We love to see it.
That will be actually the thing that we kind of remember. May December, huge loser. Actually,
big
did not cook. Did not cook.
They got one nomination. I don't even remember what it was.
They got less nominations than The Creator.
Screenplay,
2 nominations.
That's insane.
That's wild.
That's actually crazy. Wow. Anyway, I think I got a screenplay nomination. So Dex, your theater camp didn't get a nomination.
That's okay.
Justice for theater camp.
We'll need that.
Not even for best song, you know.
Streets remember.
Not even for best song. Camp is home.
I do have a movie that should not be here, and this is a good time as any to get some bars.
Go ahead, get your bars off.
I think I'm
the only one that's seen it. Yeah,
I think I'm the only one on this podcast that's seen this film. And I will say that I really love this slate of big picture movies generally. All of those, there are 9 of those movies that I've seen and really like to differing levels, but really like all 9 of those movies. But I just have to say, The Zone of Interest is not real cinema, guys. It's just not.
You were the only person with this take, by the way. I think everyone loves
no, I'm
this
not.
movie.
I went to go see it with Mo. She fell asleep on it. She hated it.
Damn.
We hated it. We hated it. It's like the point that it's trying to make is made really well in the first 10 minutes of the movie, but then you got 2.5 more hours of the same movie. There's quite literally no plot of this film. Nothing really happens. There isn't really any character development. It's just like a movie about these people who live in this house and go through this ordinary white suburban life. They just happen to live next door to Auschwitz. Like it's just like, whoa, that's just there. It's like some people live next to playgrounds. Some people live next to concentration camps. And that is kind of the plot of this film. That is literally what this film is.
As one does,
As one does. Like, you live right next door to Auschwitz. And I will give it a little bit of credit. One, the violence that's happening in this film, which is obviously plentiful, is never shown on the screen because you kind of focus on the family and not really on like the concentration camp next door. And also the sound editing, because of all this crazy shit that's happening, the way that the sound is edited to hear the family dialogue and be in that part of the family, but also hear the horrific nightmare fuel audio that's happening on the other side of the fence. The way that they do it is just really cool. And so that is the one nomination that they got that I was like, that belongs there. It definitely belongs in the audio category for sound mixing for sure. The sound mixing is phenomenal on the movie, but nothing else on this movie really worked for me. I see why people like it, but also I like being in the theater. Everyone was just crying. I wasn't really crying because I wasn't really moved by it. I know why some people be moved by it. It's obviously a very sensitive topic, but I don't think the movie itself is particularly well done or good. So I don't even know what I would replace it with in terms of something that actually had a chance. There are tons of movies that came out this year that I like more, but I know that me liking a movie does not mean there should be an Oscar movie. I wish everybody else on the internet realized this. Like John Wick 4 is not an Oscar movie, and I love it, and it's perfect, but I wouldn't say it should be nominated for Best Picture. However, there are movies that I was much more moved by that I thought were like real Oscar bait that could have had a chance this year. But as long as May December didn't make it, I feel like I won. So The Zone of Interest, while that is my ops, and I don't want them to win anything except for sound editing, I wasn't overall that mad that it was put there. I knew it was going to be there anyway. I had seen that Vegas pretty much had it always within the top 10. So I knew it would be there, but I did not love it. I didn't really resonate with me.
It feels like it got the A24 push more than Past Lives did.
It's still insane that Past Lives made it. Past Lives came out so long ago that the fact that they were even able to keep that momentum was impressive, because Past Lives is great, but movies that come out that early typically don't run. They just don't have any momentum, and I'm glad that Celine Song was able to get that nomination. That was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, usually movies that last that long are like Everything Everywhere All at Once, where people watch and they're like, this is fucking delightful. I want to talk about it every day. Past Lives, anyone you know who's seen it is like, that was fucked up, dog. Like, that shit hurts. Like,
that shit hurted. I just no. Well, it's also a different movie than Everything Everywhere All at Once. Everything Everywhere All at Once was a spectacle, and that couldn't stop people from talking about it. Dex, you are right, but it came out and then were hurt by the actors' strike too, and writers' strike.
That's true.
So neither, because she wrote the movie too, neither of the actors nor Celine Song could go and talk about their movie. So, like, Greta Lee, I think, kind of got hurt by that a little bit.
Yeah,
she also too. Like we haven't mentioned her name in the Best Actress category as well either. It's been the Margot Robbie discourse. Kind of justice for Greta Lee too, because we're just kind of like, that was definitely a top performance of the year for me personally. So
tough year, but that was up there for sure. And whatever conversation you want to have,
yeah, this year was stacked, by the way.
Yeah, it was
for actress,
Best Actress. Like, you have even like your Fantasias, or even like Tiana Taylor, or you know, there's a ton of people you could. Natalie Portman could have been in that conversation. Right. Like, it was a stacked year.
So I wanted to bring this value as we look at the Best Picture nominees. And somebody tweeted this and it went semi-viral. At least it did on my feed. And it's a really good thread. And I want to see what y'all think of this. It said, mistakes to learn from the Oscars. The mid-December embargo is too late. And I think that's starting to be true. Like, I think not allowing your movies to come out in theaters earlier now, because it used to be things got released in Christmas or on Christmas, and it was a smash hit, and everybody talked about it, and it was in the front of everybody's minds. Now, something like The Color Purple, which got an Oscar nomination, or a couple Oscar nominations.
No, I think just one. Wait, they got costume too, so two. They got costume, and then they got Danielle Brooks.
Did they not get a song either? No, because
I think so.
Because
they're not original songs, are they?
Barbie got 2 songs, so they didn't get a song.
But
also, Peaches wasn't nominated for Best Song, which is fucking travesty.
But
absolute travesty.
Yeah, I sure. But yeah, so I think the mid-December embargo thing is also true. Like, I didn't see American Fiction, which wasn't necessarily hurt. It got 5 Oscar nominations, but I didn't see American Fiction until this week.
I saw it, honestly.
Right. So that and some of these things that aren't going to win, but were still nominated, like, aren't wide releases still especially in like I always say, middle America. No public access to your film until late January is BS, is what they say. And
American Fiction is real goddamn cinema. We haven't talked about it at all on this podcast yet, but anyone listening to this, you should go see American Fiction. It's phenomenal. It did get 5 nominations. It deserved those 5 nominations, and it really has legs to compete for Best Picture. There is a world in which American Fiction could be your Best Picture.
Yeah.
So I will say, Roy, and some of these things you read off so far, this feels like personal cope from that person. Like, because clearly American Fiction beat all the allegations. Zone of Interest is beating the allegations. Like, this all still can be done. Your movie just has to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't,
but
like, if you're a mid-tier content, like if you're the Iron Claw, you got to come out early, dog. Like, you can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Come out here with some mid. You know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Iron Claw.
Something like Iron Claw, and also a movie that was the best reviewed movie of the year, which I thought would get at least one nomination. All of Us Strangers, it still isn't out yet. It was like the best. It was like the best reviewed movie on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic, and Andrew Scott was in all the conversations, and then he didn't get nominated because nobody's seen it. And so Iron Claw too, where everybody's like, "Wow, a career-defining performance from Zac Efron." Like could he be in the Iron Claw has to come out in June. Like those types of movies.
Be better.
I disagree. I think yeah, a mid-tier contender, yes, but so yeah, they went on to say if you can give your films equal campaign muscle, do not take them from companies that may do right by them by playing favorites. So that was kind of interesting. Films that do well at the box office and you opt for a VOD release, do it before voting starts as well. And if you have a client iconic enough to deliver inevitably viral moments, then make sure they break the internet before and preferably during voting period and not after, because we kind of saw Rachel McAdams went on Saturday Night Live to be with Regina George.
Oh yeah, to be
Renee Rapp.
Renee Rapp, yeah.
Yeah, after voting ended. And so it's just kind of like,
I haven't seen Mean Girls yet. Something tells me Renee Rapp was not.
No. It would have been Rachel McAdams.
Got it.
Rachel McAdams had a chance to maybe be nominated for Best Supporting Actress. That always seemed like a far cry to me because that movie.
Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?
Yeah, people really wanted to see that, and I just didn't like. I thought she played a great part, but I don't know. I didn't ever see it being as heavy of a hitter as a bunch of other people said.
Yeah, nobody really saw that movie. Like, people who did see it all loved it, but like it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't feel like it was like a part of the conversation like that to me.
Exactly. So moving on, Best Actor. For the most acting, Bradley Cooper is awarded one for Maestro.
Have some respect, all right?
That is disrespectful.
It's the most acting I've seen.
He ran the greatest Oscar campaign that we have seen in years, and he was nominated for it.
He wanted that thing so badly, and he
directed the movie. He starred in the movie, and he's directing the Oscar campaign. What more do you want? This is like LeBron leading
a better movie
finals in every category. Like, this is crazy.
He tried so hard, and he's just going to get beat out by, I believe, is it Northern or Irishman that just does not care.
that is not campaigning whatsoever.
He's like, whatever. Like, ooh, cool. I got nominated. He said he celebrated his nomination with tea and cake.
Murphy's not. He's literally not campaigning for this Oscar at all. And I respect that. I respect that.
This is further proof of the misogyny Hillary Clinton is talking about.
Right.
When Jennifer Lawrence did the same bit. Everyone was like, oh, she sucks. Fuck her. I hate her. How dare you just eat pizza? But now,
be normal.
But now Cillian Murphy does it. And everyone's like, oh, he's so nice. He's so sweet. He doesn't care about anything.
I should note that I believe he is Irish and not Northern Irish. I don't want anybody to get mad at me online. But Coleman Domingo comes kind of not out of nowhere because he's been campaigning really hard. He also got some nominations, I believe, at the Golden Globes for Rustin, a movie that
everyone hated.
Yeah, kind of came and went on Netflix too. It really wasn't even on like the flash screen for very long, if I recall.
I didn't even know it was a Netflix movie until it got nominated.
Yeah. So Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction, which I believe was deserved. Who was? I think people wanted like Efron to maybe be in there, but there was another person that was not going to happen. That was not going to happen. I think the big surprise here is Andrew Scott didn't get nominated, who I said I thought was going to maybe make a push to win because he, along with Coleman Domingo, was campaigning out and about a lot. But
wait, who's Andrew Scott? What was he in?
He was in
All
of Us Strangers.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, nobody has because Searchlight hasn't released it.
I don't even know what it's about, honestly.
Me neither. I'm ready, Searchlight. I think I'm gonna go see it this week. I think it's in theaters near me this week, so I think I'm gonna go see it this week. But I haven't seen it yet.
It's about a man. I think it's about a struggling screenwriter whose parents died very early on, like when he was like 10 or so, and he goes back to his house, and and by some like magic twist of fate, they're still alive at the age they were when they died, and so he gets to reconnect with them as an adult.
So this is Caucasian fiction. You got American fiction and Caucasian fiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Middle American fiction.
Except it's in England, but
British fiction.
British fiction. Cillian Murphy
this category. I feel like this is fine.
It's wrapped up. It's fine, but it's wrapped up.
It's wrapped up. I think it's Cillian's to lose, and we've always thought that.
Hey, I don't know.
Props
how
to Jeffrey Wright for the nomination. Props to that. That's well deserved, and I'm very happy for him. And Coleman, even though the movie is apparently bad, I haven't seen it, but Coleman's awesome, and that guy has been looking amazing on red carpets all across the land for the last month, and that kind of shit works.
It does.
He's
works. At every party looking really good. Like
Oscar's trying to beat the Oscar so white allegations. You respect it, good for y'all.
This is a retrospective nomination for his role as Mr.
Facts.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like Paul Giamatti love and Holdovers love. Like obviously got the Best Picture nomination and everything. I'm not as high as consensus on the Holdovers. Like I think it's good. I think it's fine, but like Paul Giamatti for Best Actor, I don't know about that, Chief.
Dex, I totally agree with you here. I like the Holdovers, but I am not as high as on everybody else, and I really liked it. But I think what I really liked about it was the way that it was written. I didn't necessarily love any of the performances, even from Randolph, who's also nominated, obviously. I like the Holdovers. I think it's good.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I'm not as high on it as everybody else. I'm with Dex on this one.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just mean Dead Poet Society, which is right up my alleyway. Like, I think
might be why I don't like it, because it's like it's a bad vibes Christmas movie. Like I don't want that. Like
no, well, you gotta like folks. For as much as he's been like a character actor and like the supporting actor for years and years, folks love Giamatti. Like
that's true, and Giamatti's amazing. I mean, I love Paul Giamatti. I don't want to shit on him.
Yeah, and also he did the "I'm a very normal person who's just like you" thing, and he went to
I'm going in and out
Golden Globe or whatever. It's like okay,
his Golden Globe, but he's also on like every podcast and every interview, talk shit. Like he's out there too. But Best Actress, we talked about it. But yeah, Annette Bening, Nyad, Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Hüller, Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan, Maestro, Emma Stone, Poor Things. This feels...
What an insane category this year. Other than Nyad, man, that is insane.
We talked about, Dex and I, how like, ooh, Lily, I hate it had to be you. But I think
had to be you, dog.
Yeah. I think she's got it wrapped up. If she doesn't, I'll be shocked.
I'd be shocked too, but also it's like if they gave it to Emma Stone, can't deny that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you can't. But yeah, it's weird how like it feels like every single year the Best Actress category like flip flops between, oh my god, there's literally no one to nominate for this award. Let's give it fucking Ana de Armas and Andrea Riseborough in a movie nobody saw these nominations to, oh my god, how do we only have 5 people in this category? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, it's every single year it flips back and forth.
Exactly. I think that's just, I mean, really, if like we want to be honest, it's just like the amount of good roles written for women.
Yeah.
And so I just think that like that tends to that is very cyclical in nature, but I do love what we didn't mention in the actor, because I wanted to mention this. Leo not nominated. That's who we're missing.
Oh yeah.
Leo,
which I was fine with.
I was actually fine with. A lot of people were up in arms about it, but I was kind of like, he really was almost like a supporting character in that movie, even though he was on camera most of the time. And like he came out and was like pretty effusive in his praise of everybody else in his cast, and was just like, kind of doing an anti-campaign for himself, honestly. So it was actually kind of interesting to see. I'm sure he would have loved to be nominated, but we don't have to nominate him for him to lose a 18th Oscar. Like, I'm fine with him not
I'm good.
being
That's cool.
being sad in the front row. Lily Gladstone becomes the first Native North American woman to be nominated for a Oscar, and like the third or fourth Native American to be nominated in general. And but I believe somebody made a point. I believe the woman that was in Roma was also nominated, so I think that she is technically like Native as well. So I don't know how that technically works
I
out.
thought she was the first to be nominated for Best Actress, not an Oscar, but I don't remember how exactly that broke down. But either way, props to Lily Gladstone. I also have a great reverence. Lily Gladstone was great, and if she won, I would be perfectly fine with that. If Emma Stone won, I'd be perfectly fine with that. But I also think that I really like Mulligan's performance in Maestro. Like
She's so good.
I'm blown away by it.
So good.
And if this year wasn't so stacked, I think it'd be hers. Also, I just watched Anatomy of a Fall last night, and she also is great. It's just a really stacked year. I'm going to watch Nyad specifically because if that performance is sitting next to these four performances, it must be damn good, especially if it kept Margot out. It must be damn good, or the Oscars have completely flubbed it again, which is also possible. But I love the performances that we have in this category, and this is definitely my favorite category just because the performances are so fucking stacked outside of Nyad, which no one's seen.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you thought Killers of the Flower Moon might get Irishman before you remembered that Lily Gladstone's going to win this award.
Right.
I think Maestro is going to get Irishman this year. I don't think they're going to win anything.
I think so too.
I think my Irishman, Tard, whatever you want to call it. I don't think they're winning anything.
It's up for one of the screenplays, right? It's up for one of the screenplays. Is it not?
No, I think it got no. Something got pushed out for. Hold on, something interesting got pushed out in screenplay. Yeah, no. So it didn't get in. That's what happened. It didn't get a best adapted screenplay for some reason, which everybody was kind of up in arms about. So yeah, it didn't get one.
I don't think Maestro's winning anything either. I'm with Dex on that.
Best supporting actor, Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction, which hell yeah, brother. That performance is awesome. Dex, when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. He's not in the, I mean, it's a supporting performance. He's not in the movie all that long, but every time he pops up
Laura Dern?
Yeah, kind of like
he's in it more than Laura Dern was in Wedding Story or Marriage Story, whatever that is. Yeah. But he's not in it for long, but he really is like whenever he gets on screen, the energy of the movie just gets completely different in a very good way. And it's just a great performance. And Sterling K. Brown is just always amazing. So I loved seeing him get this nomination. It was amazing.
It feels like he's like, because he was just on that fucking NBC show, porn show, This Is Us, for years. And he was an Emmy darling, but it sort of feels like this is sort of the next step for him, or at least it should be, because he has everything that it takes to be a movie star. Like, he's great
and
looking.
Everyone likes him.
Yeah. He just hasn't sort of taken that step, even though he's nearly 50, I believe. But he's in.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's older than
he's much older than he looks. He's just extremely handsome. He's
also in incredible shape. I need his workout routine from American Fiction. He doesn't have his shirt on all the entire movie, and it's incredible. Great. Yeah. So Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling, Barbie, Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things.
What a great category again.
This is my favorite category because I have no idea how this is going to go. Like, you can tell me
it's Downey.
Anything. You could say it's Downey, and I'm like, cool, that makes sense. You could say, oh, they're for sure giving it to De Niro, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense too. You could say, no, fuck it. This is where Poor Things gets an award. They're not going to get anything else, but everyone loves Mark Ruffalo. He's going to get it. And I'd be like, sure. Like, everything makes sense to me in this award category.
This feels like, and TH, tell me if if I have this right. This feels like a Robert Downey Jr. Career Achievement Award.
Yeah, I think so too. Even though it's probably my least favorite performance of the five. Not that Downey's not good in Oppenheimer. I think he's great. It's just that I have a bit more of a relationship to the other 4 performances that are nominated. But I think this is the time to give Robert Downey his award. Everybody loves him. He's had a career that people really, really have great respect for. And Robert Downey Jr. hasn't been making the kind of movies that would get you these kind of nominations. So him finally making a movie like Oppenheimer and being able to have a chance to be nominated, I think they're going to take the chance to give it to him. But this is the category where no matter what name is called, I'm not going to be disappointed at all. So this will be a point of levity in the broadcast, just in case shit is going bad and shit is not going well. I will have a happy moment no matter who they give this award to. So I'm looking forward to that.
But you got to think, how many more times are they going to be able to give De Niro one of these?
That's true.
He has
That's true.
3.
And De Niro's great.
Give him some more. Like you only get so many chances at these things.
De Niro kind of. I love the De Niro performance. I think I said on our podcast that honestly, it is his best performance in probably a decade. And it's tough to say when somebody's in their 80s. You're just kind of like, oh, they're not giving great performances anymore, and you're just like, what? But I think that Downey Jr. has been winning all the other industry awards.
Yeah,
he's also
been cleaning up.
He's also like, this is the opportunity for him to get up and be a smart ass on stage that everybody loves. You know what I mean? Where at the Golden Globes, we didn't talk about the Golden Globes on here. He got up, he had a written speech, and he's like, this is going to go great because I took a beta blocker before coming up on stage. And he's just like, yeah. So if he just gets to go up there and do that, I think the night will be kind of won back over. You could probably obviously though, this will be one of the first awards that they actually give out. But Charles Melton, who's also been nominated for a bunch of other industry awards, didn't get nominated here. I found that kind of interesting, but if it's in favor of getting Sterling K. Brown in there, fine.
I didn't like May December, obviously, but I did like the Melton performance, and I was a little surprised, but I wasn't I wasn't outraged over it because I like these other 5 performances better than I like the Melton performance.
I love the Melton performance. I love May December, but like I said in the group chat, I think probably the real guy coming out and being like, actually, this sucks. Why did y'all do this? I don't think that helped, who's to say how much it hurt, but it clearly didn't help. And also it seemed like the Academy just didn't love May December that much. It didn't get nominated hardly anywhere else either. So yeah, they're probably just down on that movie comparatively. So it is what it is. Hey, it had to be you, buddy.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're around a lot longer. He's only 30. The rest of these guys are in their 40s, and
he's about to get a lot of jobs. And he has also been on the red carpets, looking very dapper himself. He's a very good-looking guy as well. So I don't think he's going to get a shortage of jobs, and hopefully he can be in something that people have more reverence for, or at least the Academy has more reverence for.
Also, no one's going to talk about Mark Ruffalo in this category, but he's so fucking good.
He's incredible.
He's really good in the movie. He's really good.
So funny. I did not realize that Mark Ruffalo could be that fucking funny. Literal hysterical laughter every time he popped up.
He's ridiculous in this film in the best way. He's really good.
There was also a push to get the kid from, I forget, Dominic Sessa, I believe is his name, from The Holdovers. I didn't see
Holdovers.
I didn't see that happening. His first movie ever, which is crazy. His first time acting, I think. And
they don't really do that anymore.
No,
they're not into the newbies.
They used to give a best first time performance award, back in the 60s, I believe. And that
would be so fun to have that. That would be so fun. You win an Oscar, your first movie. Who's gonna tell you shit? The rate goes way up. Yeah, that's fun.
Y'all could have hooked up my boy from Belfast a couple years ago.
Yeah,
we could have got Butters in here. Julia Butters could have got her in here at some point.
Yeah,
it should be called the Julia Butters Award for Best Newcomer. That's what it should be called.
Yes.
They used to give a Best Newcomer Oscar. I think it went to Shirley Temple back in the day, if you want to go back that far. But yeah, I know.
Taste and drinks. Shirley Temple. Great.
When's the last time you ordered a Shirley Temple?
I don't know that I've ever ordered a Shirley Temple.
Probably 3 or 4 months ago. I like Shirley Temple. But I don't drink a lot of soda. But when I do want some soda and I'm out, I'm gonna order Shirley Temple. They're delicious.
That's it. That would be an incredible thing to I've seen some sober people do that, but just as a non-sober person, just to go out to the bar and be like, one Shirley Temple, please. Keep them coming.
You got to say it a little quiet. Usually I try to say like, oh, I'll just take I'll take a cherry Sprite. And they'll be like, you mean a Shirley Temple? And I'm like,
no.
Please,
No,
I
no.
just want a cherry Sprite.
No, please don't tell the internet that I ordered a
Do not tell the internet that I've been ordering Shirley Temples. You got to say it quiet so that hopefully nobody hears you.
Hey, man, I got a reputation to uphold up here. Shit. And also Willem Dafoe, but he, I don't think he was ever going to get over in favor of Mark Ruffalo or anything like that. Best supporting, Poor Things.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah,
sorry.
Best supporting actress, Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer, her first nomination. Danielle Brooks, The Color Purple, I believe her first nomination. America Ferrera, Barbie, we talked about that. Jodie Foster, that's the other
first
Naiad.
nomination too. Not
America
Jodie
Ferrera.
Foster, America Ferrera, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Jodie Foster's been out here for a while. Jodie Foster, Naiad. People who have seen the movie say that they love her performance more.
What a year for Jodie Foster. True Detective is
True Detective is real cinema, and it's just back. I just want to tell everybody that. I think we're fully back. So Jodie Foster for Naiad and Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers, who seems to kind of be the leader in the clubhouse.
That's her first nomination too, right? Four people here, but their first Oscar nominations. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Of course, the discourse was all about America Ferrera, which I hated had to be her. That everybody was like, everybody goes back to that speech in Barbie, which take it or leave it, whatever. But
I'm taking it. Loved it.
Yeah. I mean, most people, that was the other part of the discourse that I didn't talk about. When did actually Barbie is bad and you should feel bad for liking it come out? When did that start happening? Like recently.
I'm so tired of that shit.
It's so annoying.
I will say
corporate propaganda. Shut up.
Everything is corporate propaganda. There's 3 movie studios. You know what I mean?
I'm a bit weird about Emily Blunt first nomination. First of all, when we were told that was her first nomination, I was like, oh, that's true, but it just doesn't feel like it was true.
Doesn't feel
it feels like she should have had one by now.
It feels like she should have had one already.
But
so congrats to her for getting this. But like the fact that this is the role she gets it for is like, oh, I mean, this isn't like Oppenheimer is real cinema, but like I didn't walk away being like, man, that Emily Blunt is so good, which is usually what I do when I walk away from an Emily Blunt movie because she's amazing, but not in Oppenheimer. There's just like not enough for her to do. And also, and I don't want to hate, and I don't want to be canceled for any of this shit. And I
do want to hate. Let's get naked.
I do like America Ferrera's performance in Barbie. Don't get me wrong. But the only reason that she's nominated here is because that clip of that final speech went like extra viral, which I think is fine. But America Ferrera being nominated for a movie in which Margot Robbie isn't nominated is anti-woman. I'm sorry. I'm leaning into Hillary Clinton. Hillary was right. It's anti-woman. I don't respect it.
You can have that opinion, and it does not reflect the opinion of
It's anti-white woman, and this DEI stuff has gone far enough.
Oh my God. Oh, Christ.
If I got on a plane and America Ferrera was the pilot, I would be horrified. So we gotta fix this shit.
You can tell we haven't recorded in 2.5 weeks. Holy fuck. All right. Moving on.
Oh my God.
Best director. I will say the funniest thing that come out of all the Barbie discourse is people relitigating the Chevrolet ad that was just in the middle of that fucking movie. That's incredible. Best director: Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest; Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things; Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer; Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon; Justine Triet, Anatomy of a Fall. First nomination for Justine Triet. She also, I believe, I also think that she'll get a nomination for the film as well, because if you don't know, we feel like we have to say this all the time. Producers also get an Oscar. Like, they're the ones that go up on stage and accept the Best Picture award. So she may have been nominated for screenplay, but I'm not quite sure. We'll see here in a second. Christopher Nolan is just going to win this hands down.
He should. I'm going to have a great...
And he should. It's time to nominate. It's time to... I mean, Nolan's given us a lot of real cinema. Oppenheimer is extremely real cinema. It's just time. But I will say, Anatomy of Fall is pretty damn good, guys. Like, I watched it last night, so it's fresh on my brain. It's very good. It's very well acted. It's very well directed. And also, the French court system is extremely different than the American court system in a way. And I don't know if this is an accurate representation of the French court system, obviously. But man, is the French court system more cinematic than the American court system. It sets up perfectly for movies. It sets up so well for movies. There are times where the lawyer is asking one person a question and they just pivot to somebody else in the room and start asking them questions right in the middle of the dialogue. It's perfectly seamless. I'm like, damn, the French, they have a knack for real cinema. It's great. It's a really good movie. I love a courtroom drama. Obviously, I'm an attorney, so that part sticks with me as well. It was great. I would have made a few more objections than some of the lawyers in the movies, but overall, I had a great time at Anatomy of a Fall. It is real cinema.
We're gonna just start actually doing YouTube clips of like lawyer reacts to Anatomy of a Fall. Yeah, and it's not like, you know, the American legal system has been like at the forefront of cinema for 5 decades or anything like that. But you know, the French got it down. I should say Martin Scorsese, the most nominated director, the most nominated active director is what I should say. He is now
nominated living person other than the
John Williams.
John Williams.
He might be just for all these other awards like producing and stuff like that. But as far as best director nominations, I think this is his 10th. He passed Spielberg, who has 9, and now he's actually only 1 behind the most. I don't know who holds the record. I think he's long since passed, but which is 11, I think, is the record for most directing nominations. Which it's weird to call Martin Scorsese a Oscars loser, but like, but historically the numbers add up. That, and I hate that it had to be the god Scorsese, but like, this feels dead in the water a little bit.
It'd be like that, man.
What are they winning?
I feel like Oppenheimer is a buzzsaw. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it came out and just kept going.
I don't know what anyone's gonna do in the face of Oppenheimer, except in Best Supporting Actress, which I don't think it'll win. But
it's Poor Things got so many nominations, and it's not like, what is it? At least like Killers of the Flower Moon is probably going to win Best Actress. Poor Things got all those nominations. I don't know what Poor Things is going to win.
Yeah,
and Poor Things is great. I just don't know where the win is.
Yeah, that's my Tar, because I fucking love Tar and I love Poor Things, and they're just not gonna win anything.
Very similar movies.
Streets Will Never Forget, All Stars.
Very similar movies. Yeah, Martin Scorsese, 1 Oscar, 1 directing.
1 Oscar is insane.
1 Oscar.
Guys,
win.
we're 1 movie away from tying Scorsese.
Yeah, we just got to do 1. You know,
got to do 1. We can be tied with
Scorsese. Martin Scorsese. You know what's funny? Bradley Cooper inching up there. Martin Scorsese won his 1 Oscar for, can you guess the movie, for Best Director?
The Last Temptation of Christ.
No, I think people actively hated that movie when it came out. Wait, did you say 1, Dex?
I said The Departed.
It is The Departed.
Let's go.
Which at the time, people were like, this is, at the time, in 2005, people were like, this isn't a Lifetime Achievement Award for Martin Scorsese. And then he went on to get 3 more Best Director nominations.
That's insane.
So Bradley Cooper, I should mention, let me look this up of how many Oscars he is now. The Hangovers, Bradley Cooper. You want to guess how many nominations that he has?
4?
Yeah, 4 is my guess.
Bradley Cooper has been nominated for 12 Oscars.
Jesus Christ.
12 Oscars. Was it producing The Joker?
Yeah,
nary a win for him. He has been nominated.
I forgot he was a producer on that.
He produced Nightmare Alley and The Joker, so he got a producing credit.
Right.
And then he also produced and got an acting nomination for American Sniper. And he has 2 lead actor role, or supporting actor for American Hustle and lead actor for Silver Linings Playbook. But then, of course, like A Star Is Born and now Maestro. He has nominated for 12 Oscars.
That's insane.
Didn't get nominated here for Best Director, which I
That's
would have
okay.
liked to see over his acting. To be
He's in Best Picture and he's in Best Actor. He's got enough nominations. His work was well done.
International feature film. I'm gonna see
I love
these
this
movies when they
category.
drop. Io Capitano from Italy, Perfect Days from Japan, which might be, I think, the feel-good movie of the year, according to a bunch of people. I believe it's an A24 film as well. Society of the Snow, which I wanted to review on here. We just couldn't make it work.
I just finished it, man. That shit is very well done.
It is
Oh
haunting.
my God.
Holy shit. It is a tough watch. And if you're squeamish Dex, I don't think you'll ever watch it. But
the plane crash sequence is one of the best set pieces I saw this year.
yeah,
It is that harrowing. It is. My heart was beating so fast watching that sequence. It's insane.
the Teacher's Lounge from Germany and Zone of Interest from the United Kingdom. I don't know. I mean, Society of the Snow has won a few awards. This kind of feels like the Zone of Interest. Like, we're not going to give you Best Picture. But anyway.
They're going to win sound editing, so let's give it to Society of the Snow.
Also, why did France not nominate Anatomy of a Fall? Why was that not their pick?
It wasn't their pick for some reason. They didn't
pick it. They didn't pick it to run for their movie.
What's wrong with you? Like, why would you do that?
Didn't they pick The Taste of Things, which is apparently really, really, really
They
good.
did pick The Taste of Things. Yeah, I think
apparently it's amazing. Apparently it's really, really good. I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my list. I want to see it. But yeah, they picked The Taste of Things.
Animated feature. This is where we thrive, except for these two movies that we haven't seen. The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot
Elemental
Dream.
will not die.
No one could ever kill it. Won't die. Holy shit.
No one could ever kill it.
It's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This sort of feels like The Boy and the Heron is going to win. Dex groans audibly.
Not a fan, but whatever.
We can't reward Spider-Verse here.
The first one won. We should. The first one won, so that's an uphill battle for it.
That's fair.
Look, man, the third one, Best Picture nominee. It's coming.
Facts. Turn that up, Dex.
Well,
turn that up.
And I was going to mention, I'm shocked. We've sort of regressed in how we, because Toy Story 3 got a Best Picture nomination when they expanded to 10. And since then, we've sort of regressed on nominating these animated films, which you won't nominate comedies, you won't nominate horror or action movies, except for Top Gun Maverick. Like, nominate some animated films. These are just as good, and they make money too. These are just as good of cinema, except for Elemental, as all of these other films.
Except for Elemental. Hey, Elemental's good, bro. What are you doing?
It's fine. It's fine.
We're just like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna keep it in movie theaters. They can't make us take it out.
Yeah,
fuck it.
They can't make us take it out.
And they wrote that to an Oscar nomination.
They're just like Leo DiCaprio and Wolf of Wall Street. They're gonna have to call in the National Guard.
Also,
Elemental might still be in theaters near you right now.
Yeah. There's not even.
Also, just note that I just want to give a shout out to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Mario movie. Two great animated movies that were not nominated here.
You got to give it up on the Mario movie, man. It was
and also a shout out. The Mario movie's great. It's phenomenal. And also a shout out to Wish, which apparently sucks so bad that no one nominated it for anything. Apparently, Wish is awful. So
yeah.
It didn't
it feels like The Boy and the Heron's going to win for Miyazaki, who's also in his 80s. I feel like this is a one for him to celebrate him.
Shout out to Florence Pugh.
Yeah. And let's get the biggest cast in Hollywood was in that movie, so let's get all of them at the Oscars too. This is a chance to get Robert Pattinson at the Oscars, looking bored as hell.
Let him on stage, cowards.
Yeah. Adapted screenplay. I love these categories. American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. If Poor Things was ever going to win anything, this might be there, because I believe Tony McNamara, if he didn't win, was nominated for the last Yorgos Lanthimos movie, The Favorite. Yeah. So this might be it, but this feels, I don't know. Give it to Cord Jefferson, man. That screenplay was awesome.
That was an incredible screenplay. I agree with you.
Is American Fiction a book?
It was.
Yes, it's based on a book.
It's based on a book. It's a really interesting story. If you listen to interviews with Cord Jefferson, who was like a TV writer and also he was like a journalist or like a blogger for a long time.
Yeah.
So there is hope for us guys, by the way. We just have to be geniuses. But
we're one movie away, boy. I told you.
Exactly. So apparently the author, who I'm blanking on his name, like staved off people making this into a movie for years and years, and then met Cord Jefferson and was like, I'll give it to you for free. Like if it's a good movie, then you can make the movie. If it's not a good movie, then you won't make the movie. So he liked the screenplay, and then the rest is history. But
it also made a lot of changes to the book and the way that the book rolls out the story. He made enough. It's not just like he adapted this book just verbatim. He made a lot of changes that made it fit for cinema, and it's easily one of the best movies of the year and one of the best screenplays of the year. So the
satire was like, obvious to us internet pilled brain, neoliberals living in the 21st century. But the amount of like old people that were dying laughing at the white criticism in that movie, I was like, okay, he hit something here. You know what I mean? He actually hit something out of the park that like struck a chord with people. So I really enjoyed that. I don't know what this goes, maybe Oppenheimer, because it was such a interesting way of adapting that massive book. So I don't know, maybe it's him, but it feels like
if Oppenheimer wins this, we'll know the sweep is on.
Yeah, the sweep is on.
I agree with that. That's when we'll know. Other than the fact that Emily Blunt's not going to win, but other than that, the sweep could really be on if they win this one.
Yeah, original screenplay: Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, which is where it got nominated, and Past Lives. Now, Celine Song didn't get nominated for Best Director, but for some reason, this got 2 nominations: Best Original Screenplay and Best Picture, which you rarely see happen. It usually has to be nominated in a bunch of other categories. But I believe it was one of the best pictures of the year, so it got that nomination because I believed in it, is what I'm saying. But this feels like a Celine Song award, because that's kind of how they usually do it. Like, new person comes on to the set or the wave and rides that to. They've historically awarded this to up and comers who they didn't give other awards nominations to.
And also Top Gun Maverick.
And also they did do the screenplay for Top Gun Maverick. I forgot about that.
Yeah. How's Maestro? It feels like Maestro was based on something. Like that feels like an adaptation to me. I don't know, but whatever.
Well, it wasn't based on any sort of medium, I think. I mean, obviously he had a lot to work with, but I don't think there's like a outstanding Bernstein biography. I'm sure there is, but like
it wasn't based on that.
It wasn't.
Bradley Cooper was deep in Wikipedia. You can't change my mind.
just late night rabbit holes, man.
That's hilarious.
That's incredible. Visual effects. This one is weird because Oppenheimer wasn't even nominated, but also wasn't on the short list.
That's so weird.
What?
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Those are some of the best. They literally made us look like an atomic bomb was being tested, and we believed it. That's great visual effects. I'm not sure exactly how this didn't get placed here. It was just weird, especially because it's so nominated in other categories. They obviously have a great respect for it, but no nomination for visual effects.
I think people have conflated, the Academy has kind of conflated, like, not most visual effects, but like CGI and stuff as that's the visual effect and not necessarily like practical effects, which just isn't true because that's all encompassing visual effects.
Definitely not true.
So the nominees were The Creator, Godzilla -1, hell yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, hell yeah, and Napoleon. Boo.
Boo.
Give it to Godzilla.
Those set pieces were great, but still booed. Still booed Napoleon. Sorry, Ridley. Sorry.
Give it to Godzilla -1.
Facts. It's time.
Which I still haven't seen. I need to get on that.
You definitely did get on that. That is real cinema, and the visual effects in that film based on that budget are mind blowing. It's crazy that they were able to make it look that good with that budget, and I think that is where we're going to have our moment for Godzilla -1. And I'm gonna always remember that Godzilla Minus One won an Oscar, and it's gonna make me smile every time I think about that. So please, let's do the right thing.
Well, what's funny is that like people want to say like the Oscars don't matter, but they had a video of the visual effects team or the team behind it, including like the director and stuff in Japan. I guess it would have been late at night when they got that Oscar nomination video,
crazy.
and they were going fucking nuts. And so, like,
yeah, man, you can say whatever you want to. This shit means something to people. Like,
facts.
It's the Oscars. Like,
I would say it is incredible what they did with like a $5 million budget, or no, like $15 million budget. People were praising the creator for what they did on like a $80 million budget or whatever it was. We're just like, I don't know. I saw the other movie with the monster in it, and that looked great.
the creator definitely got nominated because like people in the Academy saw the like robot people outside in LA, and they were like, oh, these look great.
These look pretty cool.
Like,
and they did look cool as shit in the movie. So
like out at baseball games and whatnot, and we were just
they were
yeah.
at Dodger games, just like, oh yeah, these are awesome.
Original score: American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Sure, okay, John Williams. Sure. Biggest Oscar loser of all time, John Williams. That feels sacrilege to say, but it's also true. Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. You have a take on this?
Killers of the Flower Moon, I have tweeted this many times, is the best score I have heard in a number of years. I listen to it all the time on Spotify. This is going to be another Scorsese win. They're going to get 2 Oscars. They're going to get for best actress, and they're going to win the score, as they should. And so our biggest Oscar loser, the dad movie King of the World, is not leaving here empty-handed. He's leaving here with something. He's leaving with the best score Oscar.
I would give it. Yeah, I mean, it was Robbie Robertson, posthumously nominated, one-time member of the band called The Band, which makes great music if you've never seen it. But it'd been a long time Scorsese collaborator. So this feels like something that like Scorsese could get up there and like accept award for his departed friend. I also love Ludwig Göransson. Ludwig Göransson's also like 33 years old. So like, it's like he has plenty of time to lose other Oscars, but,
and he's already won.
Oh yeah, he did win for Black Panther, didn't he? And I just wanted to see, do you want to play one more time? I know we're going long, but do you want to play the Oscar guessing game of how many Oscars John Williams has?
How many has he won or nominated?
Well, let's do one, but let's also talk about nominations.
Let's say he's won 9 Oscars.
He has won 5 Oscars, but I believe, holy shit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow, you got to count like that. That means he's been nominated a shitload of times.
11, 12, 13, 17, 18. Bear with me. 30, 24, 25, 26, 27,
Great radio.
33, 5, 36, 39, 40, 41, 42,
Jesus.
43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3. He's been nominated 54 times.
Good
54 nominations. He has 5 wins.
Yeah, if you were a hitter in Major League Baseball, you'd be in AA. They'd send you back down.
Jesus, he's shooting like Wemby from 3. This is insane.
It's also weird because he's kind of like I love the scores for these movies, but he's kind of like category frauded a little bit because a lot of his later nominations have come from Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, Indiana Jones, and The Dial of Destiny. It's like, you invented those scores 70 years ago.
Yeah, we just made a couple tweaks and he got another nomination for him.
Yeah. Anyway, so I found that to be
like, shit still hits.
Yeah.
My only thing on this category is that the Poor Things score feels wrong. Like, it feels incorrect. Like, that's not how music is supposed to sound, but it rules. It works so well.
It services the movie.
This movie, yes.
I will just say that the Oppenheimer, can you hear the music has just gone viral on TikTok for like 10 months. So yeah.
It's good shit.
Original song. This is hilarious. Dex, you have some takes on this?
Oh my God, dude. Why do we do this every fucking year?
It Never Went Away from American Symphony. I'm Just Ken from Barbie.
What the fuck is American Symphony?
What Was I Made For? From Barbie. The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. Flamin' Hot got a nomination.
They would nominate Diane Warren for literally any fucking thing. If Diane Warren made a song that year for a movie, they're like, fuck it, Oscar nominated. Doesn't matter if anyone's seen the movie. Doesn't matter if you've seen the movie and nobody knew that song was in it. Whatever it is, she's going to get nominated. She's been nominated like 6 of the last 7 years or something. Like, it's crazy.
But also Bruce Springsteen for It Never Went Away from American Symphony. Do you think he knows he got nominated? And I should add, I'm gonna butcher this, but Wahahazi, a song for the people from Killers of the Flower Moon.
Do you think Springsteen knows that he stole this nomination from Jack Black? Jack Black made Cinematic Greatness, and he was robbed by Bruce Springsteen. I hope Bruce Springsteen sleeps well knowing that he did that.
I'm of the mind your song should be in the movie.
Yeah, agree.
I agree.
So
the credits don't count. That's not the movie.
Give it to I'm Just Ken. Whatever.
I'm Just Ken is going to be the most fun one to see perform live. I can tell you that. Gosling is going to be in full movie star mode. Let's fucking go. Let's do it.
He seems like he doesn't want to do it. It's just like, dude, why not? Like, he seems like really adverse to like wanting to do that.
Do it, Gosling. Do it.
You have to. I've never wanted anything more. As soon as I saw that in theaters, I was like, oh, we can get Ryan Gosling performing this at the
I said, oh, he's doing this at the Oscars. I had the same thought.
Documentary feature. This is where I have a huge blind spot this year. Normally I'm pretty caught up on these. But
same. I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah. 20 Days in Mariupol, Bobby Wine, The People's President, The Eternal Memory, 4 Daughters, and To Kill a Tiger. 4 Daughters, a sequel to Lost Daughter or whatever that came out.
I thought you were about to say 3 Daughters.
Wait, are you talking about the movie with what's the Lost Daughter?
What was the Netflix movie that came out last year that Dex you didn't like with fucking
Are you talking about the one with the lady from The Favorite? In The Crown.
Olivia Colman.
Olivia Colman. Wait, how could it be a sequel? What do you mean?
It's not. I'm joking. It was a bad joke.
I was so confused. I was like, wait, what?
And it probably is a bad joke considering I don't know what 4 Daughters is about. I'm sure it's going to be heart-wrenching, and I just made a joke at his expense.
Well.
Let's see.
The Lost Daughter is pretty heart-wrenching too, so you were at least on theme.
It is The Lost Daughter.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that. Yeah.
Oh shit! Like this is about like people disappearing. Oops. So yeah, sequel to that.
I haven't watched any of these, and I'm not gonna watch any of them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, you're not a documentary guy, but Tej is normally our documentary correspondent.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. I need to catch up, but I'm definitely gonna be tapping in. I'll definitely update y'all as I watch them.
I don't do the documentaries. I don't do the shorts. I'm out. I never do the shorts. Baby.
I never do the shorts.
So this is interesting. Cinematography award I also love on this podcast. El Condi gets nominated. A movie on Netflix that nobody's talked about.
Boy, Netflix dropped bags. Okay, Netflix got Rustin. Netflix got El Condi. Netflix got Society of the Snow.
Naiad.
Netflix got Maestro. Naiad. Netflix was dropping bags behind the scenes. It is their time.
So Killers of the Flower Moon, obviously Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things all get nominated. I don't like.
If there is a place for Maestro to get an award, it is here. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think this is their best shot to get an award is right here in this category.
I probably agree on that. And same for Poor Things, honestly. Like they could sneak one out of here, but
yeah, I mean, it's interesting they snuck that in there, but it's like we couldn't put another one of these movies. I don't know. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't want to like shit on a movie I haven't seen. We do it all the time, but anyway. Let's see. Costume design, Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. So The Color Purple did not get nominated.
No, they didn't. So they only got the one. They only got Daniel Brooks.
That's okay. But
wait,
you got to get this.
The Color Purple got hair and makeup. Maybe I got that.
I think that sounds right.
I think they got hair and makeup, but I could be wrong.
Usually they always give us anything other than Barbie, you're wrong.
I'll tell you what. You want to see like if we know the sweep is on. If Oppenheimer wins for putting people in suits,
then it's over. Then
Suits and Hamilton watches, baby.
Yeah. Animated short, Letter to the Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform, Peck Deerme, and War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. That's interesting.
Skip.
Live action short film, The After, Invincible, not the series on Amazon. Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. This feels like that's going to go to Anderson for the story of Henry Sugar. So that's going to be his first Oscar win, actually.
No Asteroid City, by the way. If we kind of
Yeah.
breezed over that, I thought that would get something, but nope.
Yeah. That sort of was like the consensus for a lot. Oh, that was my top movie of the year, yada, yada, yada. And then, but also nobody saw it except
I
for.
didn't see it either, so I can't judge.
So Wes Anderson's probably going to win his first ever Oscar for a Netflix short film. Cool. Documentary short film, The ABCs of Book Banning, The Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between, The Last Repair Shop, Nene, and Wipo. Film editing, Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things.
Why the holdovers?
I don't know why the holdovers, but it feels like that has to. It feels like that's going to be Oppenheimer, right? Like that. Doesn't that feel? Yeah.
I don't know. That Scorsese has worked with the woman that was nominated for years, and I think she's won several awards. Let me go back and look. She's famous, and I hate that I'm missing out on her name. But Oppenheimer could win. I don't know about Anatomy of a Fall, but the way that you described it, Tej, seems like they've cut together a really interesting like story, like a whodunit.
And I'm not going to spoil anything. There's a sequence where there's an audio recording that's being played in court, but they take you to the physical manifestation of it. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's why they were nominated for Best Editing. You just see it through the sequence. It's very well done. The editing is very good. I don't think they're going to win, but I definitely see why it was nominated.
Thelma Schoonmaker is the woman who I'm mentioning for Killers of the Flower Moon. She's won 3 Oscars, including The Departed, The Aviator, and Raging Bull. So it's like she's kind of
she's been working with him forever.
Yeah, so I've kind of been like hand in hand with him for forever. Sound, The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, The Zone of Interest. Give it to Mission Impossible, cowards. This is going to go to Maestro, by the way. Actually.
I'm glad that Mission Impossible was nominated, as it should have been, because it is real cinema, and we appreciate the fact that they got their nomination. I was happy to see that.
Actually, this is going to go to, I don't know what I was talking about. This is going to go to Oppenheimer.
That's one probably. I mean, everything's going to Oppenheimer. So,
production design, Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Barbie is great set design, but Poor Things is that set design taken to its inevitable conclusion.
This feels like a Poor Things to me.
Dex, do you have anything on that? Because
Poor Things has too many nominations to not get 1 or 2 Oscars. So there's going to be places where
you
they
would
win.
think.
But they did design like a whole Barbie world. So I don't know.
I feel like Barbie because I don't know. It just makes you feel warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum. But Poor Things looks great. I don't know.
You can see the light draining from Dex's eyes as we get further down these categories.
He talked me through the shorts.
We talked about animated shorts. I thought he was going to fall asleep during that category.
I'm like, what are we doing?
Makeup and hairstyle, Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Society of the Snow.
Golda?
No, Color Purple did not get another nomination. Okay.
I would give it to Society of the Snow, honestly. Because all those people look like they're in fucking hell.
Man.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, exactly. So anything else on as we end with just a fart?
we got the same host, so Kimmel's doing it again.
Okay.
We don't need host. Well, I don't know why we went back to host.
I agree that we don't need host, but Kimmel's doing it again. I'm just excited for the show, and as we catch up on movies, I'm excited to come in and share our thoughts on said movies. But no, I don't really have any other thoughts.
I don't think that we'll end up doing a full review for American Fiction, but we talked about it a little bit. I just want to talk about it here. because I don't know when Dex is going to be able to see it. But that's the latest movie. That and Mean Girls are my first movie of 2024. Mean Girls, hell yeah.
Same actually.
I thought American Fiction, just real quick, I gave it like 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. Go follow me at Rolly Novelty. So I give it like an A. I thought it was pretty obvious satire, but also pretty great satire. But it had heart, and including some really interesting twists and turns with how his family is affected in the movie. And but I thought it was like the role that Jeffrey Wright was like born to play, actually. And yeah, and I just thought all the performances were pitch perfect. And Cord Jefferson, man, first time director, first time I think feature film writer, knocked it out of the park. I gave it an A. I thought it was, and also just one of the funniest movies that I've seen in a long time too.
There is a version of this movie that just like won't work, and I won't go too far into it because I think people should definitely watch it. But I thought it just did such a it's so smart. It's very obvious that we're doing some we're riffing on certain things, and it's very obvious, but it's also really well done. And it's not just like that part of the movie. That's like half of the movie. The other half is like a very, very impacting family drama that also works on its own level and adds to the other part of the movie. And I just thought that doing that and your first time out making a movie, I was really blown away by what they were able to accomplish. The cast was great. Seeing Erica Alexander pop back up in a movie was just phenomenal. She has been incredible at her job since she was on Living Single. So to see her just pop back up in a movie and be a big part of the movie and have such great chemistry with the rest of the cast, I have a great respect for what they're able to accomplish. And I think American Fiction is definitely going to win a couple Oscars. And props to Cord and props to everybody involved with that movie. I just loved it.
There was a bit, and it went unnoticed. Tease, tell me if you saw this when he's having the the first conversation as the fake writer to the book publisher, and well, the line that's in the trailer is like, "Man, I'm sure all the white people in the Hamptons will love this shit," and she's like, "Yeah, we will. I mean,
yeah, we will."
But behind her is like a portrait, sort of like in the style of like the Obama painting of Ruth Bader Ginsburg with boxing gloves.
With boxing gloves.
And I was like, that's just an incredible like choice to do. And you can tell that Cord, as like a TV writer and like a writer himself, has dealt with a lot of this stuff in his real life. So I found it to be really, really funny. And also Adam Brody is the film producer. Like, incredible role.
Yeah.
Like, he's like
great. He's great. He just
Ryan Reynolds gets his head chopped off.
Good.
And you're just like, Ryan Reynolds gets his head chopped off with an axe by a slave. It's going to sell millions. You're just like, what? Anyway, so I thought that was great. Dex, do you have anything to say about Mean Girls, I guess, is like when we're talking about what we're watching?
They sent the girl who played Katie Heron out there to die on her own.
Fed her to the wolves, man. That's tough.
Horrible miscasting. Oh my God.
Really?
Do that poor girl like that.
And I like Angourie Rice. Chance. I like her as an actress. She's actually really good.
She was that badly casted?
She just had no chance. They sent her out there. Like, I don't even know what the comparison is. Like, it was like sending, you know how they had Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech with those terrible quarterbacks all those years? Like,
Reggie Ball.
That's Regina George Renee Rapp out there with Katie Heron as like
holy
person. I should say it's like, because Alili Carvalho, who plays Moana, if you don't know, by the way, is also in there, and she gets an incredible number, and she's like belting it and like running around and really good. It's like asking Harrison Barnes to take the game-winning shot back in like 2013.
Just why they have her out there like that, man? Like, you are being compared to Lindsay Lohan off the bat, like, so that's already tough. But then also you've got like legit pop stars and Broadway singers and Moana on the screen with you. And you're just like a regular person. Like, it's not fair. They were asking her to do a lot.
I don't want to, it's not Russell Crowe in Les Mis bad,
Few things are.
but it's like similar in that like everyone else like is kind of throwing it out there, and she just doesn't have the range to get
Damn.
there, you know. So,
But
yeah,
I will
it's tough.
say, all the people who are like, "Oh my god, why is it a musical? Why they do that?" Shut up! Like,
Because-
if you want to watch Mean Girls, it's not a musical. It's right there. Like, everyone
already
has
had-
access to Mean Girls. Like,
we already
it's
have
fine.
it. It's on Paramount. We can
Hey,
just
did
go
y'all
watch
know
it.
that The Lion King is not a musical according to the internet?
Oh
Did y'all
my
see that?
That
God.
makes no fucking sense to me. What the fuck?
Do you want to explain that real quick on just
Somebody-
on here because we're whatever like to fill
Somebody
time?
tweeted that The Lion King is not a musical because they don't like musicals and they love The Lion King, even though The Lion King literally has the characters at multiple points in the movie obviously stop and break into song. Apparently does not make it a musical. And then other people was like, it's not a musical, it's animated, as if all musicals are
Bruh.
live action. What
It's
are we doing, guys?
It's
There's
not
nothing
like
wrong with liking musicals. In fact, musicals are great. Musicals are
Musicals
good.
fantastic. We should
it's
have
not
more
like
of them.
the whole front part of Disney was based on having their characters sing, like
Literally.
Snow White and Cinderella, and all Sleeping Beauty. No, but Lion King, written by Elton John, not a musical.
Literally
Not a
written by
musical.
like Elton John is all over that film, but they brought him in.
They
not for his
break into
musical
song
talents.
to advance the plot several times. Like,
Several
it's impossible to miss. Like, I don't like. What do you think a musical is? What the fuck?
Unbelievable.
But yeah,
But-
otherwise, I really liked. Well,
Yeah,
really
after we
liked
just
is
said it.
probably strong. But yeah, Mean Girls is good. I think. I like the songs. The comparison people are doing between like the Broadway songs and the movie songs is whatever. I don't care. Like, it's not Broadway. It doesn't need to sound exactly like Broadway, but it felt like they put a lot of time and energy into all the musical sequence, and they look fucking fantastic. And that was enough to entertain my little lizard brain and just be like, "Ooh, look at Renee Rapp."
Yeah, it like they obviously know that Renee Rapp's the star and like the pop star, and so they like film her like it's her entire thing's like a big music video basically, and that's kind of how they film the entire thing. I thought there's worse ways that you can spend time at the theater, and I thought it was a pretty good adaptation for like 2024, like with the TikTokification of where we are now.
Yep.
They use that pretty well too. It's like, what if Mean Girls had actual working cell phones? Like that's how this works. But the weird part of it is that it like almost beat for beat retells a lot of the same jokes too, because it is a adaptation of the musical, which was directly adapted from the movie. So like they're just doing the whole bit at the end of the movie where they all gather in the gym, So it was just kind of weird to watch. You're
Yeah.
just gonna like, oh,
I think
okay.
I'm gonna wait for streaming. I've realized
You should.
that I have an aversion.
Yeah, it's too late now.
I have an aversion to. I watch Mean Girls probably twice a year already. The original Mean Girls. So having another Mean Girls in my life, I'm just not ready. And also, I don't know who Renee Rapp is. I know that she's a singer, but I'm not on TikTok. Well, I am on TikTok technically, but I don't ever go on TikTok, and so I don't really know anything about Renee Rapp. And I didn't watch SNL, so I'll be introduced to Renee Rapp, right when I watch this movie when it comes to streaming.
Did
And I'm
you
sure
watch
I'll have a good time.
Sex Lives of College Girls?
No, I know that she's from that show, but I've never seen that show, so I don't really know who she is.
Apparently, she's also out here being like, millennials are bad and old, and I don't like them. So it's like,
We're off to
okay.
a bad start.
Yeah.
Who do you think made Mean Girls a phenomenon that it is, Renee? Answer me that.
So there is that, but also, yeah, it's I just thought it was Gen Z Mean Girls. It was pretty good way of doing that. What we walked out of the theater and there was like a group of college girls. My wife and I, we walked out and I overheard one of them like go, that was the fucking worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh shit.
So like Gen Z, I may have felt pandered to a little bit, but yeah. So anyway, also Aaron Teej, by the way, on Twitter, got some likes and stuff by saying 8 Mile is also a musical, which if you take it to that length, yeah, kind of.
Facts.
Anything else that we're watching besides
I'll just
football?
I've said it before, but Danielle Brooks, incredible and first of all, congrats on the nomination. Second of all, she's just phenomenal in The Color Purple and is the standout of the film pretty easily for me. So I was pretty happy that at least she got the nomination. I've just been catching up on Oscar movies. I've watched all the Best Picture winners now. I'm going to go back and watch them again. Or sorry, all the Best Picture nominees. I'm going to go back and watch them again. I really want to dig into the documentaries, but I've been watching True Detective. I watched the first episode, and I've been watching Griselda. And then on the film side, I watched Handmaiden last night, which is Park Chan-wook's one of his movies that I liked. I didn't love as much as everybody else seemed to love it, but I liked it enough.
I watched Old Boy for the first time the other night.
Old Boy's, what'd you think? Old Boy's insane.
Fuck, man. Wow. Okay. I had kind of known what happens, like at the twist of it, but like the just brutality of all of it, I just was kind of like, holy shit. Okay. All right. This is the kind of time that we're on. But it was. Dex, did you ever seen that?
No, I do know what happens in it, but like, I've never seen it.
Old Boy is insanity. I also rewatched The Other Guys, and that shit bangs. That shit fucking bangs. That shit never stops being fun. It never stops being good. That shit bangs. But that's pretty much all I've been watching. And I rewatched Hollywood Shuffle because obviously American Fiction is pretty much like a lot is taken from Hollywood Shuffle. And American Fiction is a better movie than Hollywood Shuffle, but you definitely see how Cord was inspired by American Fiction, which I went back and watched that. I had seen it before, but I went back and watched it.
Watched a lot of streaming movies, including like the Gran Turismo movie that came out, which...
Is it good?
It's weird. It's like not bad, but it's also like the biggest, I mean, as some of these are, like the biggest PlayStation ad I've ever seen. It's like a 2-hour long PlayStation ad. So much so that they put like when like they're racing and a position will change, like somebody will overtake somebody in the race, their number will pop up going from like first to third or something like that, and it will play the PS5 beep.
Wow.
Like I'm not kidding, like the boom, like it'll do that whenever they pass people. And
come on.
Yeah, it's just a big ad. Other than that, I thought it was a pretty compelling like racing movie. Watch it on Netflix, whatever. It would be the kind of movie that you would watch on TNT for like 2 hours back in the day. But yeah, it's a big PS5 ad. And Sony has somehow won the streaming wars because they don't have a streaming service. And we're just like, we'll just give all of our shit to Netflix. And guess what? They haven't lost any money. In fact, they've made a lot of money.
They've made money, yeah.
I also watched some other stuff. Good Grief, which was also on Netflix. Self-Reliance, the Jake Johnson movie on Hulu. Could have been better. And another Netflix movie that I don't think anybody watched, but got kind of good reviews called Bank of Dave, which is a heartwarming, fun film. So you should watch it if you want to have the feel goods. Oh, and I also watched all of, I'm on the last episode now of The Leftovers. Confused as fuck.
Sick.
Real cinema.
Anyway, 28 episodes of being just utterly confused.
I've been watching a lot of football, a lot of wrestling. It's real wrestling hours, folks. We're on the road to WrestleMania. We had the Royal Rumble watch party last night with the Apollo guys. It was a lot of fun. Cody Rhodes is going to finish the story. It's coming.
Also going to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh,
2025. We here. And Vince McMahon will not be there.
Vince McMahon, he will not be on Netflix. He will not be there.
Vince McMahon is not going to be there.
Yeah, he didn't get to see that deal come to fruition. Oh man, sucks.
He's not going to see there.
Real quick, I do want to talk about that, and then we'll go because we're running long. But like the Netflix thing, one, they're pushing they're not going to win Best Picture again, which has to stick in the craw of the guy that is Ted Sarandos, whoever is leading that, right? And
Apple TV Plus like took it seriously for 1 year and got it.
Yeah.
Netflix just fucking can't do it. They're like, what? Like it's hard? Like what do you
right. Mean? Well, there was a story that came out, and I sent it to y'all about how I believe the director of like original content or something. I'm going to butcher this, but was saying to the heads of Netflix, "Hey, what if we had the novel idea of putting these fucking movies out in theaters for people to watch them?" Which we said on this podcast a year ago.
Yep.
probably longer than that. We've been doing this for nearly 4 years. And the head of Netflix was like, no, I don't want to do that. And now they're still hemorrhaging money. Get real is
Not
all I
that
want to
much.
say.
They just gave the WWE a bajillion dollars. Don't raise my rates. No disrespect to WWE, but I'm not watching live. I don't got to have Netflix to watch live sports, so please don't charge me for that. Thank you.
And that's my thing about Netflix doing that. You're not gonna make that money back on WWE. Like that's not happening. The math just doesn't. The math is not there. Like you're not going to make money on that. What do we do? Like just you have Knives Out for 70 movies or whatever the fuck that deal was. Put them in theaters or a legit theatrical run, and then put them on Netflix. Like it's so simple. Everyone else does it. Why don't you just fucking do it?
Knives Out made something like $16 million in a week on the West Coast, basically.
Give that
It
shit a
came out
month
here,
in theaters.
thank God,
Yeah.
Let
but
us go see it, and then put it on Netflix so we can watch it again. Everybody wins.
Literally, all you have to do: put it out in theaters for a month. We'll all be like, okay, this actually rules. People should go see it, and then a lot of people will go see it. It will make money, and then you can put it on Netflix still, and more people will watch it. You lose nothing.
Like the movies that Sony is producing. Anyone But You, $100 million. That movie with Jennifer Lawrence made money. I believe
No hard feelings.
No Hard Feelings made money. And then it got the boost of Netflix, where people were then tweeting about it again because it's on the front page of Netflix. I believe the Gran Turismo movie made like $200 million.
Can I give some
It's
props
like
to
Ticket
Jordan
to Paradise
Peele?
made money. Like you can just put some shit out. Like just let it sit there for a little while. You can ride that to an Oscar nomination. We just talked about Elemental. Like just put it in theaters. Like refuse to let it die, and then put it on Netflix. It's fine.
Gran Turismo, not good. Made $121 million at the box office.
Insane, man.
And then it got the Netflix bump. Anyway, that was my rant. I just wanted to say, like, how is it we can run this business?
Insane.
Let us do it.
Jordan Poole, Dev Patel is his
Peele.
directorial debut is called The Monkey King.
Monkey Man.
And the trailer looks fucking awesome, but it's coming to theaters because it was supposed to be slated to be on one of these streamers. I don't even remember which one, but Jordan Poole got involved and he said,
Netflix.
"No, this needs." Yeah, it was Netflix. Jordan Poole got involved and said, "No, this needs to be a fucking movie you put in theaters." Now it's in theaters. Thank you, Jordan Poole. You're smarter than Netflix, and you're listening to us. And this trailer looks fucking awesome. And the three of us will guarantee to be in somebody's movie theater to watch this movie. So thank you for giving us this movie in the theaters like it was intended to be watched.
It was something like that came out that Netflix bought the distribution rights for it for like $30 million, which is just kind of a drop in the bucket for them for what they gave fucking Scorsese $100 million to make The Irishman.
That's a piece of the Irishman budget.
But it was like footage of it was screened like 3 years ago. And Netflix has kind of just been sitting on it a little bit. And Jordan Peele was like, no, we'll get this in theaters. Now, I'm not sure how many movies that like people can do that for, or if anybody has the power like Jordan Peele to do that. He sort of seems to be one of the top 5 people in Hollywood that could probably make that happen. But it is interesting that they're just like, no, we're just going to sit on this for a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. Jordan Peele knows a moneymaker when he sees it.
Facts.
And like you literally could have bought Tom Cruise. Like we just saw a studio buy Tom Cruise just to be like, hey,
we just saw that.
Come sit here and just make money for us. And he was like, yeah, I got you. Because they let him put his shit in theaters. Like, what are we doing?
So easy. It's I can't believe movie executives. I can't believe that they don't know how to do that. We're sitting here solving the world's problems on a podcast. Anyway,
thank you, Jordan Peele.
Literally, just go to Margot Robbie. Like, hey, you produce a lot of money making movies. Want to do that for us? Yeah, done. Like,
if you put it in theaters, because that's actually where you make money. And in fact, and this is my last point. I'm no economist, but making some money is better than making literally no money. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, just a thought. What all we got going on? Dex, you watching a bunch of sports, Apollo stuff?
As always. Yeah. Go Chiefs, I guess. It's good for business. I don't know.
Fuck Brock Purdy. We're not rooting for him.
Tej, what about your other, less successful? Nobody will listen to that podcast.
Slander You still going. We got a new episode coming out this week. We'll be appearing less frequently because it's the off season, but these things sneak back up on you. We have plenty of content and slander for you through the off season. So stay tapped in with us.
Gotta get those reps in. Gotta stay ready.
Got to.
Just like ball players in the spring, you need that spring game to stay on your feet. All right. As always, you can follow us at One Take Podcast on Instagram, formerly known as Twitter, X, and TikTok, I guess, if you're so inclined. Go back and watch some of our old stuff. Follow us on YouTube, One Take Podcast. You can follow the rest of Apollo at Apollo HOU on most platforms. And you can follow us all there, and you'll have links, I'm sure, to all the other stuff that we're putting out. But you will we'll try and get to more movies here. I hope soon. I don't know what's the next big thing coming out in theaters. We haven't talked about The Beekeeper on here.
Oh God!
Honestly, hadn't even considered going to see that movie.
Me neither.
There's one big thing coming out next week. Hold on. Sorry. Again, great radio for me.
All of Us Strangers is coming.
Madam Web coming.
I don't even.
Valentine's Day.
I don't even know if we want to. Argyle, that movie that's been in every trailer for the last
It has every movie star in Hollywood in it, so we should probably watch it. But I'm scared based on the trailer. The trailer is not working for me.
I will be there. I am Bryce Dallas Howard Hive. I am showing up.
In fact, the last movie that we reviewed that went in theaters before the pandemic was a movie directed by that guy, the Gentleman. So bring it full circle.
Wow. Well, I'm down to see Argyle. I was going to see it anyway, so we can see it.
So Argyle, hopefully that is next. I know we've overpromised and underdelivered on what movies we're going to review, but we will be following the Oscars and all the other nominations. SAG Awards happen soon. So we will bring you all of that coming to a One Take Podcast feed near you. Dex, what are we doing?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh. The Boy and the Heron, nominated for Oscars. Oppenheimer, nominated for Oscars. Dune 2. Going to be nominated for Oscars. We just can't miss.
That's the big one. We just might take a hiatus until March. All right. We're out.